Okay, good evening and welcome to the July 9th meeting of the Shawnee City Council. I'd ask that you please silence your electronic devices at this time. I am Mayor Michelle Dissler. I'll be chairing this meeting. I'll do a roll call at this time. Councilmember Zimmerman.
Present.
Councilmember Neighbor.
Present.
Councilmember Jenkins.
Present.
Councilmember Kimling.
Present.
Councilmember Meyer.
Present.
Councilmember Adrian is absent. Councilmember Sandifer is absent. And Councilmember Constance is absent. Thank you. Please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. And I would ask that we keep Councilmember Sandifer in our thoughts tonight during our moment of silence. Pledge allegiance to the flag
Under God, indivisible, with liberty.
Next, I'll explain our procedures for public input. During the meeting, I will offer the opportunity for public input. If you'd like to speak to the council at any of those times, please come forward to the microphone. I'll ask you to state your name and address for the record, then you may offer your comments. So that members of the audience can hear your comments, I would ask that you speak directly into the microphone. By policy, comments are limited to 5 minutes, and no person may speak more than twice to any one agenda item. After you're finished, please sign the form on the podium to ensure we have an accurate record of your name and address. In addition, while I won't do a roll call vote on every vote, I will state council members' names who vote in minority so that our listening audience will have a clear and accurate record of the vote. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Does anyone have an item they would like to remove from the consent agenda? Seeing none, I'll accept a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Move to approve. Second.
Motion has been made, seconded on this item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is mayor's items. Item number 1 is to consider contract number 2018-0072, an employment agreement for city manager. The recruitment process for city manager is complete and has resulted in the recommendation and negotiation of an employment agreement with Nolan Sunderman to be the next city manager. The recommended action is to consider approving and authorizing the mayor to sign the agreement. Does the council have any questions? Anyone from the audience like to speak to this item? Seeing none, I'll accept a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded on this item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Perfect unison.
Motion passes. I will now administer the oath of office to our new city manager. Oh, thank you. Please raise your right hand. I, Nolan Sunderman,
I, Nolan Sunderman,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Kansas,
and the Constitution of the State of Kansas,
and faithfully discharge
and faithfully discharge
the duties of city manager,
the duties of city manager.
so help me God.
So help me God.
And we are going to sign this on the 9th day of July, 2018. And now we will sign the actual contract. Congratulations, Nolan Sunderman. You are now officially the new city manager of the city of Shawnee. And I understand your family is here to support you. Would you like to introduce the new royal family of Shawnee?
It's my wife Natalie and my son Connor.
Who has a birthday coming up?
Thank you.
Thank you. And then additionally, I just wanted to take a moment to speak on behalf of the governing body for every employee in the city of Shawnee, that the work you do is so amazing, that this transition during this time has been seamless to the residents of Shawnee. You all have done the work that you always do, and it's such a testament to you guys keeping things going every day. And so we want to personally thank all of you for making our jobs easier by doing what you do. And then additionally, we also want to thank Deputy City Manager Vicki Charlesworth for the work that you have done, because, and I keep saying this, that phenomenal is not adequate enough for the job that you've done. You immediately stepped in and met with us to find out what the grievances had been. You fixed everything. You have been a wonderful asset to us, and you've, changed the whole morale of the governing body in your actions, and that built that trust, and just, I can't speak highly enough of the job that you have done as interim city manager. I am so proud of you and the work that you do, and I don't have enough to say. Does any of the governing body members want to add anything to that? Because I've heard nothing but positive feedback about the job you've done.
Vicki, I'll just pile on. Thank you for everything. You've been a blessing for me, stepping in as the council president. A little bit challenging for me, and you've been so helpful. Thank you.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes, Vicki, I think the level of communications between the governing body and the city manager went to new highs. You kept really good contact with us, and I really appreciate you so much. When I had little constituent issues where I had to call you or text you or email you, wow, all over it. We got her done. We got it closed out pretty quickly, and everybody seemed to be pretty happy. So outstanding. Thank you for your help.
And sometimes I think the responses were faster than the question. I was like, did I even ask that question yet? We already had a response to the problem. So any other comments from the council?
Yeah, I believe we have a special memento for you.
And we do want to wish you a happy birthday as well. Wow. Thank you so much.
The only thing I would say is we have a great staff. I can't do anything without the staff that we have here. So
Yeah.
it's all about the staff.
But poor Nolan now, you've spoiled us. So now we have very high expectations.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vicki.
Thank you.
Okay, business from the floor. Is there anyone who has comments on an issue that is not on tonight's agenda? Okay, seeing none. Next item on the agenda is, oh, I'm sorry. Please come forward. If you state your name and address for the record.
Hi, my name's Elisa Bear. I reside at 5823 Long. Excuse me, I'm a little nervous. I've never been in front of a bunch of
You're
people
okay.
before. I need to comment about things that are going on in my home, and I hate to bring a bad cloud to y'all's celebration tonight. But I'm having issues at my home with people coming into my home and breaking into my home. I can't see them. They're destroying my property. They're cutting my clothes. They're hacking my phone, and I don't know who's doing it. But it's just about made me break down because it's been going on for a very long time. And I just wanted to put it on the record so I can say that someone is coming to my house and doing this at 5823 Long.
Okay.
And
Have
I would
you,
like some help with this
have you contacted the police department?
3 times. 3 times I have, and I've gotten no help from this. And I'm sorry, I'm nervous right now, but I'm also shaken from it. It just became more than we can bear. And I would just like some help with that.
Okay,
All right,
thank you so much.
thank you.
Is there anyone else who has comments on an issue that is not on tonight's agenda? Okay, seeing none. The next item on the agenda is public items. Item number 1 is to conduct a public hearing to consider adopting resolution number 1842, declaring the intent to issue private activity bonds, IRBs, in the principal amount not to exceed $20 million for the Westlink Buildings 4 and 5 project. Airtex, Inc. intends to construct 2 industrial facilities of approximately 170,000 square feet each at the Westlink Business Center, 43rd Street and Powell Drive. The property acquired with the proceeds of the bonds would receive an exemption on a graduated basis for 10 years. There are 3 recommended actions. The first is to conduct a public hearing. I will accept a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded on this item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. We are now in a public hearing. This is a formal public hearing required by law. Once the public hearing is closed, we will have a council discussion followed by a motion. Ann Smith Tate from the Shawnee Chamber of Commerce will make a brief presentation. Welcome, Ann.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. First, I just want to take the opportunity to publicly congratulate Nolan. As you all know, I'm still fairly new here in Shawnee, and it has been such a privilege to work alongside of you, Nolan, on all of our economic development initiatives. It's always great, especially walking to a new situation when you can work with somebody who cares about the community, has a lot of knowledge about economic development and the issues, and also has a great sense of humor and is just a good person to work with. So on behalf of the Chamber, the EDC, Visit Shawnee, all of the people that we work with, congratulations. So, and go ahead with the public hearing. So tonight we're here for the Airtex Westlink Business Park Phase 3 public hearing. As you know, it wasn't too long ago that I was up here talking about Phase 2. They are ready to build the buildings 4 and 5. The developer of this project is Airtex. Gosh, I really should have worn my glasses. The architect is Belnod, engineer SKW, and the construction is Roger Fireham. Our real estate broker is Cushman Wakefield, Whitney Kerr Jr., and Rob Holland. I spoke with Mr. Kerr earlier today just about the status of the whole project, and we discussed various projects, but really this whole Westlink project has all along really met the expectations of leasing up according to what their plan was. And they have several businesses right now that are in the center that are in expansion mode, and so they are anxious to get these buildings up and leased. The proposed exemption for this project is a 10-year averaged out over for about 85%. The first 6 years will be at 100%, and then you can see on the slide how it sunsets over the next 5 years. The bonds that will be issued tonight are not to exceed $20 million. As required by state statute, we did conduct a cost-benefit analysis. What the analysis showed us was that the new city taxes and revenues to be generated from this project are just over $2 million, and the cost to the city and through the abatement are also just over $1 million. So that leaves us with a city benefit to cost ratio of 1.94 to 1. So for about every dollar that we are abating, we will see another $1.94 back, which is exceeding the recommended ratio that the state puts forward. So our payback period is estimated at 3 years, and all of the taxing jurisdictions that we ran this analysis on showed similar results. Just up here is a slide of what will be built. Both of the buildings will be the same as the other 3 that have been constructed, 170,000 square foot buildings. $19 million is the estimated project cost. Also, when Whitney and I were speaking earlier today, we were talking about the rising cost of steel and labor and how that is affecting the overall project cost. So I think that this abatement will definitely serve to stimulate that economic development and get those projects up. As I mentioned the last time I was up here, that one of the key things to having and being competitive in economic development is having buildings that we can market and put out there. And, you know, time is so important now in any of these projects. And so having those speculative buildings ready to go is crucial for our success. And this is just a rendering of the project, but are there any questions about this?
Don't see any. Thank
Alrighty.
you. Is there anyone from the audience that would like to speak to this item? Seeing none, the second action is to close the public hearing. I'll accept a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Public hearing is now closed. Final action is to consider adopting resolution number 1842. Does anyone on the council have any questions? Anyone from the audience like to speak to this item? I'll accept a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Item number 2 is to consider contract number 2018-0073 is Shawnee Entrepreneurial and Economic Development Seed Agreement with Cohen Real Estate Enterprises LLC. Pursuant to policy, Cohen Real Estate Enterprises LLC has requested to be considered for the loan fee repayment program in the amount of $7,700. Dr. Cohen intends to relocate his dental practice from Prairie Village to 6302 Monrovia. The recommended action is to consider approving and authorizing the mayor to sign the agreement. Is there any discussion from the council? Anyone from the audience like to speak to this item? Please come forward and state your name and address for the record.
Hi, my name is Dr. Seth Cohen. Address is 22910 West 48th Terrace. I just want to thank the council as well as the Commerce for allowing me this opportunity to receive this program and this loan, and really look forward to being able to continue to provide really great dental care to the state of Kansas. I pride myself in being one of the very few dental offices that accepts Medicaid patients that are special needs for adults as well as children, and look forward to continuing to do that for many years.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Anyone else from the audience want to speak to this item? Seeing none, I'll accept a motion.
So moved.
Second?
A motion has been made and seconded on this item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Nay.
Motion passes. Dr. Kimling voting in dissent. The next item on the agenda is items from the Planning Commission meeting of June 18th, 2018. Item number 1 is to consider approving SUP 091806, a special use permit for La Terraza Bar and Grill to allow live entertainment at 10923 Shawnee Mission Parkway. The Planning Commission recommended 8-0 that the governing body approve the special use permit subject to the conditions as listed in the staff report. Is there any discussion from the council? Anyone from the audience like to speak to this item? Seeing none, I'll accept a motion.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded on this item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Next item on the agenda is staff items. Item number 1 is to consider approval of a trustee for the proposed special obligation bonds for the Belmont Promenade project. The city's financial advisor, Springstead, solicited bids on behalf of the city. 4 bids were received, and staff is recommending BNY Mellon as the trustee should the Belmont Promenade project proceed. The recommended action is to consider approving BNY Mellon as the trustee. Is there any discussion from the council? Anyone from the audience like to speak to this item? I'll accept a motion.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded on this item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Item number 2 is to consider change order number 1 with Client First Technology Consulting for additional assistance with vendor selection for financial and land management software. The city recently engaged Client First Technology Consulting to assist with the selection, process improvements, and contract negotiations for financial and land management software packages. The original contract cost was $47,983. Change order number 1 represents a change in the scope of services in the amount of $7,900 for a revised total project cost of $55,883. The scope changes increase the cost to exceed $50,000, which requires governing body approval. The recommended action is to consider approving the change order. Is there any discussion from the council? Anyone from the audience like to speak to this item? I'll accept a motion.
So moved?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded for this item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Item number 3 is to consider contract number 2018-0074 for 2018 tree trimming and emergency debris removal. The city has an annual contract to assist with tree trimming beyond the capabilities of in-house staff. 4 bids were received, and staff is recommending custom tree care. Recommended action is consider approving and authorizing the mayor to sign the agreement. Is there any discussion from the council? Anyone from the audience want to speak to this item? I'll accept a motion.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded on this item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Item number 4 is to consider contract number 2018-0075, a water main extension petition and agreement and granting of a permanent easement to Water District Number 1 for Fire Station 74. Construction for the Fire Station 74 will require water main extension to be installed. The work will be completed by Water One in the amount of $18,328. A contract and permanent easement are required. There are 2 recommended actions to consider. The first is to consider approving and authorizing the mayor to sign the agreement. Is there any discussion from the council? Anyone from the audience who would like to speak to this item? I'll accept a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been made, seconded on this item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Second recommended action is to consider granting a permanent easement to Water One for a water main extension for Fire Station 74. Is there any discussion from the council? Anyone from the audience like to speak to this item? I'll accept a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded on this item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Item number 5 is to consider contract number 2018-0076, a performance contract to Navitas for the investment grade facility audit through the State of Kansas Facility Conservation Improvement Program. On April 3rd, 2018, the council committee recommended staff issue a request for proposals for performance contracting, a process where construction improvement projects are funded by guaranteed savings on energy operations and maintenance. 5 bids were received, and staff is recommending awarding the bid to Navitas. The recommended action is to consider approving and authorizing the mayor to sign the agreement. Is there any discussion from the council? Anyone from the audience like to speak to this item? I will accept a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion has been made, seconded on this item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Next item on the agenda is miscellaneous items. Item number 1 is to ratify the semi-monthly claims for July 9th, 2018 in the amount of $3,371,057.45. Is there any discussion from the council? Anyone from the audience like to speak to this item? I'll accept a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been made, seconded on this item. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Item number 2 is miscellaneous council items. Does anyone on the council have an item they would like to discuss? Mr. Jenkins.
Just one item. The item concerns the proposed development project, new TIF and CID for the Belmont Promenade project. And I have some concerns about that because of what I read in the paper. I mean, I think a lot of people read in the Kansas City Star that they're under a lawsuit, and I know everybody's familiar with that already. Here on the council, I have some background information about it. But it does cast some serious aspersions on the people doing this project, especially in the time which we all live right now, with the emphasis on this sort of activity where women are being treated this way in the workplace, putting cameras underneath somebody's desk to, film them and some. I don't know what kind of people we're working with here. It kind of gives me a little bit of alarm about what kind of people we're working with. Do we want to go down that road with these folks? I like the project, but I do have some misgivings now. I'm really kind of have some serious concerns about what we're working with here. Is that going to affect the bonds down the road? With investors, are investors going to be on board with this in the way they were before? It may be no big deal. I don't know. It's just, but it has clouded the issue, and it does cause some concerns for me as we move forward with that at our next meeting. So just wanted to voice those.
Okay. Are there any other council items, Ms. Meyer?
I would just be remiss not to weigh in. I don't think we want to be discussing the development project, and I hate for us to impugn any citizen before they have had a jury of their peers weigh in on that. So I think we're wading into pretty dangerous territory by talking about some potential allegations in any lawsuit. Anyone can file a lawsuit at any time. I'm not defending him. I don't know, but it worries me as a council that we're wading into that territory right now.
Yes, but I don't think I mentioned anything that wasn't right in the article. In fact, I didn't even go into depth as the article did. So the fact of the matter is, it is cause for alarm, it's cause for concern, and you can feel any way you want, but that's a fact.
Are there any other items the council would like to discuss? Mr. Neighbor?
I would like to say I agree with Councilwoman Meyer. It's, until these are allegations and there's a process to go through, and we have a process to go through to do our due diligence, and this will work out someplace down the road. But anyway, I agree with Councilman Myers.
Any other items, council items? Seeing none, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
So
Move to
moved.
adjourn.
Is there a second?
Or second, whichever.
Motion has been
we
made,
said it at the
seconded
same
to
time.
adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. We are adjourned. Thank you.